the way they're promoting the headline is more than crack pipes. There's all kinds of stuff like
right.
I forgot syringes, but like, why would you say that it's for racial equity?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with infectious disease.
Yo, the biggest thing right now is meth smoking, and they smoke pipes, and like I don't.
Meth and fentanyl and.
You don't even really hear about crack like that no more. I think a thing that's actually pretty hilarious is that his son was caught with a crack pipe.
Maybe his son brought it to his attention.
Yeah, maybe this is a problem that he's probably. This is a problem, Dad. When I'm out there, these guys, we don't have any clean pipes.
This reminds me of in the 90s when they started introducing condoms into the grade school system.
And what may I get for you today, son?
I'd like to buy some Jimmy hats.
Oh my.
Parents were furious.
I mean, because obviously there were teenagers getting pregnant, but the percentages were small. And if you look at the larger group of kids who perhaps they weren't even interested in having sex, imagine the amount of peer pressure is on them when the parents are giving out condoms. So it's like an endorsement.
Do you remember me telling you the story of how my mom like introduced condoms to me and my brothers?
Nah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything. I didn't really know anything about it. I think I was in 7th grade, and my mom, she came home from work, and she's got like a bag from Louis Vuitton, and she's like, you guys are getting older, and like I didn't really know anything about condoms. It was almost like taboo. I don't think that's a thing now. I think it turned into like, oh, okay, all right, it's cool, all right, whatever. So my mom has a box of like 24 condoms if you're gonna have sex with a girl. So then she takes one out. I don't know how to put in the condom on. I don't even remember what it is that she used, or she showed us, how to use it. This has been the toughest 5 minutes of my adolescent life right now. So she leaves the box of condoms with us. And I'm like, I wasn't, I didn't really, what am I going to do with them? My older brother says, guys, it's like, these are no good. Got to have the lubricated kind. These are non-lubricated.
I was really hoping this was going somewhere. I was praying.
Yeah. It's like,
you guys didn't see my hand.
One of those things. You were like, yo, I want to hear about this.
All right, I'm
halfway through, you saw there was a dead end.
Oh man, what were we talking about?
You bringing something up?
Yeah, I'm getting it up again.
This cat has like, what'd you do? Contact somebody at Fiverr and set up a deal for them to do like your, remote broadcasting or something? Taking this cat forever to share a screen. I told a whole boring story.
Yeah, and you tell him terrible jokes. You're building up like a character for yourself.
He has a really big character
this cat.
full of nothing though. That cat just be talking stuff.
Right.
The person in the middle gotta tell stories.
Yeah. Like, this guy's terrible.
Anyway, do we finish with this crack stuff? Why is this thing failing? Totally. Is he making constant mistakes? Gas prices, like now that Trump had
inflation in general.
It is out of control. Either way you swing politically, it's out of hand, uncharacteristic of our standards.
Well, this administration hasn't been accused, but the whole left in particular is being accused of going along with the communist kind of Marxist or socialist front. The only way to implement a new system is to find that the previous system was failing the people. But as far as I know, capitalism was doing pretty well. As the previous administration was showing, things were appearing to get even better. We also was talking about how recently a celebrity, I don't even know if you can call her a celebrity, she once was a celebrity, AJ Johnson, you might remember her, she was on House Party.
Sheree.
Yeah,
her little cousin put mad sugar in the Kool-Aid.
She recently turned 50. For her birthday, she had a threesome. That kind of got to me only because, as far as I know, we're complaining a lot about what white people have done to us being exploited, as well as from the female perspective, of women being sexually objectified. Should they feel a certain amount of responsibility as a celebrity?
But no one has to anymore. That's just how it is.
If they were to do that, like try to hold themselves accountable, they'd be going above and beyond what the networks are doing. So there's nowhere where that standard exists anymore.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
It's going in the other direction.
When it comes to the nuclear family, the person to be exchanged would be the father, or I would say the heterosexual father.
I found it interesting that they used a black family in the photo in an article on the Atlantic. I think they were kind of using the black family right there because, and it's kind of like this, it's a game again that, they play with different types of stimulus. So, you put a black family as image on it and people are going to draw a connection. Wow, the nuclear black family is messed up. It's almost like they directly go at the solution and destroy its viability. So the solution is the nuclear family. They've been attacking the black nuclear family 50 plus years.
As you know, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter website, they directly attack the nuclear family. They're for the diffusion or the destruction of the nuclear family. So they want to build another or create another definition of what family is.
And it's funny, during this summer last couple of years or so, when we were learning more about Black Lives Matter, I think it's interesting that they used that exact phrase. They used the phrase, the Western, I believe, nuclear family.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a coincidence that they're using these phrases because they're creating, it's kind of like creating a drum roll towards a goal.
You know what I think? I think a lot of people don't realize that these experiments take years.
Decades.
Yeah. There's experimentation that's been going on for the past 30 years. And these things take time to manifest. And it seems as though a lot of people just think that this is something new, or it's immediately called a conspiracy.
The foundation of all of this is racism, right? Like, imagine if racism, all of a sudden everybody stopped believing in racism and they just looked at it as, there are going to be certain people who don't like me, and there's going to be certain people who don't like you, and I'm fine. Right. I'm okay with it.
Racism is something, when you think of it on a low level, it's like, wait a minute, people don't stop and think. Like, people don't even get along in the same household. Like, they're siblings.
That's true.
Like, what makes you think that everybody in the world is gonna get along with you because you're a nice guy, or you're
Jeff got Thomas Soulish right there.
And going towards the macro level, it's probably such an old thing in human interactions to be distrustful of a different group. It's probably going back to humans were cavemen. Right. If you were captured by a different tribe or group, you were dead. It's like everything else with society. It's like everybody's at a different level of understanding and is going to view the issue differently, because of their experiences of that group. So I understand when people have a hard time with it. It's more a problem of the person experiencing issues than the people doing actual bad things to me. Because to me, it's a minority of people that are actually out there blatantly doing racist things. But there's a lot of people out there going around feeling like people are doing racist things.
It's the easiest label to slap on. It's just as fast as when you go to the supermarket, you get a case of water and they give you the little sticker to put on it that you paid.
Right. Like with everything else, when do you become the person who's like, all right, yeah, there's people who are that.
Yeah.
And just accept it. Because it's kind of like, that people are like this. So you'll hear people sometimes like, yo, I can't believe, I don't know why he's doing this. And they're going on and on for days about something and it's just bizarre because it's like, what can I do about it? And why do I care this much?
Right now, the liberals are trying to change the name for Spanish people. Latinx, yeah, you know about it. Yeah. They're trying to change the name for Latin people, for Spanish people, call them Latinx, and Spanish people are getting offended.
They're mad.
But black people accept it. And I'm telling you, they've been testing on us for a long time. Look how quickly we accepted African American. You know how many people aren't originally from Africa? People just assume that because they're black, that their ancestors are from Africa. And it's not necessarily true. They just be compartmentalizing us into whatever groups they want to. It's so much power that we give them.
I'll tell you, there's this thing right in our community where it's or we've programmed ourselves into this kind of thing where when some kind of stimulus comes out, there's this thing, even if it's not true, we've become so warped as a culture, or some kind of situation will arise and we have this thing of what's the most what's the most effective way for us to use this situation? Like that thing came out with this Latinx, the word Latinx, right? So it's like Latin people don't even accept it, but because we've been caught up in this thing and all this stuff is coming out, allegedly addressing minority, disenfranchised, or underrepresented groups, and there's this whole thing snowballing. So we hear this and we're like, oh, Latinx, it got to be good. A lot of Black people like fall into this thing where some kind of thing happens. We're like, yo, this is how we're supposed to think about it, and we all
Or you're
kind of
not
think
black,
like,
you lose your black card. You don't want to lose your black card
right.
on the outside of it.
Right.
And that was a perfect segue because that's what Biden was trying to solidify by saying that.
He's that
Yeah.
comfortable, that
Right.
like he's that rest assured about how we think that we got these people under control that he can feel comfortable saying that.
I feel like I really know Biden, man. Like if you really go back to Biden got caught like plagiarizing a speech almost word for word. He's claimed that he was like the top in his class.
Law
He's at the
school.
bottom. Like this cat lied about like, so this cat is a complete total like politician, lied to do anything. So the notion that all of this stuff he's been saying is not, there's not somebody behind him like, yo, you can't say that like this. I know they're doing this on purpose. Like all of this stuff, they're doing it on, I'm telling you, there's no way it's an accident. You ain't black or all of that stuff, or the State Department straight up saying for racial equity we're gonna grow out crack pipes. Then this is not stuff that's happening by mistake.